Hi everybody, this is Stefan Molyneux from Free Domain Radio. I hope you're doing well. We're very pleased to have the highly energetic and charismatic public speaker and educator, Dr. Duke Pester. He is a tenured university professor, author, and the academic director of Freedom Project Academy, which is a live online school which offers individual classes, complete curricula for students in kindergarten through high school. You can check out the website at fpeusa.org. Now, with no, and I guess always with no, Common Core. Dr. Duke, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you so much, Duke. Great to be with you today.
6 years. Boy, you can get a lot done in 6 years. And in the 6 years that Common Core has first begun to creep its inky way into the lifeblood of the American educational system, I think people are beginning to wake up to some of the dangers and the damage that it can do. So I wonder if you can help people to understand what Common Core is and how this beast came to be.
Well, it's a huge 6 years, and probably 50 years before that, the federal government was working towards this. The short answer is that Common Core represents the federalization of education in America, more than at any time in our historical past, and certainly in very unconstitutional ways now. The federal government is in charge of curriculum, in charge of standards, and in charge of testing our kids. None of this is technically legal. The 10th Amendment to the Constitution, of course, prevents the federal government from meddling in state educational policy. But this has been a slow creep. For decades and decades, the feds have been accruing more and more power to themselves. As you know, in the late 1970s, with the creation of the Federal Department of Education, once you did that, once we had a big bureaucracy in Washington who dedicated itself to education, there's no doubt that over time they were going to take more and more responsibility to themselves. Common Core represents the biggest step forward in the federalization of education. And there are two main problems, number one. Number one is this centralization, this control. The more the federal government controls our kids' schools, the less access and opportunity parents have to impact their kids' education, the less local school districts matter. Indeed, entire state education departments will quickly become moot. All they're going to do is implement federal directives. They have no originary ability to change things now in a meaningful way. So that's number one. And number two, as always happens with the federal government, what they do is when they have this kind of control over anything, now healthcare and now education, they use it to import ideology. They use it to support their statist observations, their statist requirements. They use healthcare as a tool to control people, and now they are doing the same thing with education. So besides being a illegal, really contra-legal federal takeover of education, it is also a Trojan horse, Common Core, to transform American education from primarily skills and knowledge-based to primarily ideological now.